and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals of the WardiTV Monday number 27. We are here, we are back, and we are jumping into that best of 5. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss. Representing Sidestorm Gaming, it is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the French Terran player, the red Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat, as we do have our top 2 players of the week. Let's go. Let us go. And again, it's been a while since we've been able to embrace MaxPax and Clem. Again, as we mentioned before, this is the 3rd time that they're facing off in the finals of the WardiTV Mondays, at least in 2025. But now they're here. Now they are back. Let's go. When it comes to the others, again, a shout out to both Solar as well as Hero for making it to the semis. I'm sure they're going to stay up. I'm sure they're going to stay up, as they often do, to play in tonight's Monday night weeklies. As Solar and Hero, they often do pull all-nighters, not just to play in that, but to play in the Pigastore Monday as well. Ooh, the marathon is upon us. For now, we're going to be settling in. Double gas opener out of Clem. Likewise, standard opener out of MaxPax as well. Welcome one and all to Whispers of Gold. Whispers of Gold is a small map of the map pool, known for aggression, known for rushes at times as well. And we'll see how our players make use of that. That's all the RNG. The RNG, oh no, get him out! Oh my god! How unlucky was that? Jesus. As Clem, he was trying to restart building on that deeper for so long to get onto the other side, and he just couldn't get out. Aye. Does save the SCV nonetheless. Does pull away. That's crazy. Thankfully, does keep it alive. From here, we're settling in. Catching with the chat. Clem switch up in 3 seconds later. Bailings had started earlier, or there's a lot of ifs or busts, but that's not what happened today. Such is the case. Clem was the winner. Yes, I would say that your statement's been very reductive. I think there's value when it comes to analyzing like what happened in the game itself, going over it for sure. But I think you know that. As for now, the Adept does keep up, does zone. We have our tech of choice, going to be a Twilight Council opener out of MaxPax. It's going to be Twilight Council into most likely Blink. When it comes to Stargate-based openers, they are typically reserved for larger maps. I say typically, like El Dorado can be an exception at times. For the most part, we do expect Twilight Council-based play. Meanwhile, Clem, likewise, going for his own CC on the high ground. If you recall, initially it was double gas, so faster factory into faster starport. This is actually quite committed here. It's quite a delayed CC compared to the starport timing, so very aggressive here by Clem. Clem, he's going for the early Cyclone drop. Not an all-in, but aggressive nonetheless. Here we go. As Clem is moving out. And MaxPax, he's been denied the scout. That's what's important here. MaxPax, he saw the racks, he saw the CC, didn't see anything else behind this. Now, he knows that the CC is late, and he knows that there was a faster factory, but he doesn't know about that early starport and the fact that the medevac is already here. So Clem is going to move out. Oh, Cyclone is revealed. And we are waiting for the tank. This has been a really popular build, specifically on Whispers of Gold. As we mentioned, because the map is so small, this hits so much harder. So much harder. And here we go. We're boosting across. Here comes the tank. Here comes everything else. We have Marines, we have Cyclones, we have tanks, all pushing out towards that natural. Back at home, no safety shield battery. There are a couple of Stalkers here. Thankfully, it is 3 gates from our opponents. We have 3 gates here from MaxPax. 3-gate blink, Robo is done, but without a shield battery, that pylon is looking so vulnerable, so exposed. Prism first, going for the pylon, tank does siege, and the tank is within range. Yeah, tank is within range. If that pylon goes down, that's game. Boys are being pulled. It's going to be a meat grinder here. MaxPax trying to break out, going for the tank, takes down the Cyclone. Will eventually get the tank as well, but that's going to be 16 probe kills, and Clem is still not done. He's going for the pylon. We did mention pylon is going to fall just barely. Depowers everything. And Clem is rallying. Everything across the map. Backup pylon does finish up. And MaxPax, he's going to hold on, but at a cost. At a cost of 16 workers. Whew. Now, thankfully, oh god, I thought, oh, he loses more stalkers. There's gonna be 3 more stalkers going down. That one Viking putting in so much work. Oh my god, that Viking was insane. As MaxPax is barely holding, getting baited into tank range, and GG gets called again. That was a game-ending damage, and Clem will take game number 1. GG, well played. Clem does take a lead. Again, that build has been very trendy on maps like Whispers of Gold, on even maps like El Dorado as well. Typically, if it goes unscattered like that, it is very difficult to hold on to. It is hyper-committed play there by Clem. If MaxPax had seen it ahead of time, safety shield battery, defensive warpins, alas, didn't know what was coming. Didn't know what was coming until it was too late. And now we're jumping into game number 2. Going to be loading into Ley Lines. Ley Lines going to be a much larger map, one of the more larger maps. I don't expect Clem to go for the same build, but that might not be the last time we see it this series. Like we might see it even more. Here we go. So we're getting into game number 2. Just waiting for all of our casters. Oh, good. Getting everyone involved. But yeah, we're getting into game 2, and we'll see if MaxPax can bounce back. Again, Clem, he's been enjoying being the aggressor for the most part. These double gas openers have been very trendy from the side of Clem. And we should be seeing that here as well. Here we go. Surely he had anything with such a late CC, something was coming. If you recall, though, it was a double gas opener anyway. Like, the delayed CC, I would say, was standard. Here we go. Now getting into game number 2. And spawning in the... I apologize if I didn't make that clear. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ley Lines, we have the blue Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player from the land of Denmark, representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. Here we go. Getting into game 2, and we'll see if Clem once again opens up double gas, or if he does open up with a faster expansion. MaxPax likewise moving out. We'll see if he can be a little bit more adept at scouting. Meanwhile, no surprise, double gas opener once again by Clem. Once again, Clem is going for a faster factory and a delayed CC. Even though the opener is the same, this does not mean that we are going for the same build though. This doesn't mean that we're rushing into the faster starport. From here, we can go into Reactor Reaper Hellion, we can go into Banshee play, we can go into Cyclone drop, Tank drop. Tank drop is the build that we just saw. There are options. It's going to be up to MaxPax to kind of figure out what exactly is going on. To cross off his list, like, the possibilities. This time the SCV safe. This time the SCV on the correct side, on the right side of the wall. It's going to be safe. There's that factory. MaxPax, he didn't get to see the gases, so for all MaxPax knows, there could be a CC further back in the main. There could be a CC thrown down. So MaxPax once again is going to be a little bit in the dark as to what's going on. Reaper moves out. Probe Scout is going to be denied. And we'll see how we do follow this up. We're now going for the Adept. CC on location for Clem. And you can see this time it's a command center and there is no starport. Going for the add-ons, going for the reactor. We did mention Reactor Reaper Hellion earlier, that is what we're getting into. This opener here is designed to get economic damage, to get into mineral lines. and to try to roast off some workers. We'll see when he stops. If he goes up to 2, if not even 3 Hellions, he can commit a little bit harder. As Clem does poke in. Getting to his follow-up, we have our take of choice from MaxPax working towards that Twilight Council. And it is going to be Triple Reaper, Double Hellion. Okay, he's not making any more. So just Triple Reaper. There are some Terran players that can go up to 5. You can go up to 5 Reapers and 3 Hellions, but here we're going to be cutting it a little bit earlier. Adept will delay the CC. No, just barely. CC is delayed. Not bad. Likewise, Clem pushing in. Remember, his goal is to get into a mineral line, and he does get past. So yeah, not enough SimCity here. Probe's going to be going down. This is getting brutal. Okay, 3, 4, 5 probe kills so far. And can he get more? He'll get another volley. 7 workers, getting up to 8. Yeah, only 8. I mean, I say only, still very nice damage here from Clem. Unfortunately, there was no wall. And Clem so far does start off quite nicely. Looking at the units lost type here, that was 2 Hellions, 2 Reapers for 9 probes. On top of that, he also got a full scout. He did confirm the timing of the robo. He saw the tech. He saw the Twilight Council when he got behind the mineral line. He's aware of the build. So a strong start here for Clem. Likewise, moving out with a Cyclone drop. And, oh, did he get spotted? Barely not. Coming in from behind. Trying to catch out those Stalkers. There is no bunker. MaxPax getting forced or getting baited further in. Boys are being pulled. Here comes a surround. Nice volley. Oof. Oh my god, the pickup. The pickup micro. Saves it twice. Yeah, nice save there from Clem, and Clem holds. Clem, he holds. Will be losing some mining time though, so a nice attack nonetheless here from MaxPax. As Clem is pinned back home. Ideally, if you recall, Clem, he would have liked to have been across the map. He was going for a drop, but forced to be more defensive instead. And from here, we can settle in. We can settle into our 2 bases. Clem securing his natural, MaxPax getting his 3rd up and running. Behind this, still just working with Blink, and, ooh, interesting, he's not going into charge. Not yet. Is going for a faster bay. If you recall, especially when it comes to the past couple of months of TvP, you'll know it's been very trendy recently to go from, well, I say recently, again over the past few months, to go from Blink Stalkers into Forge, into Charge, into +1, and delay the Colossus until after you get your 3rd base, until after it's up and running. But here, you can see that there's a late Forge. Forge is thrown down, but after the bay, after Colossus production. So I would say a much safer build here, very safe build by MaxPax. Going for earlier Colossus. Like, the meta of TvP has been shifting a little bit, as this isn't the first time MaxPax, if you remember, he did go for this build against Bjorn as well. Against Bjorn earlier in today's broadcast. Did go for the same build. I mean, in general, earlier Charge and earlier +1 is designed to punish aggressive bio move-outs early on. And if Terran players aren't going for that kind of aggression anymore because they're being punished for it, then you can get away with earlier Colossus. And just a greater kind of tech base. So the meta has been shifting. You know, Clem, he's just building up back at home. Clem most likely will not move out without Stim, so he's just waiting for his upgrades, Stim, Combat Shields, Medivacs. Then he can break out and expand. They'll slip away with a Liberator. Headed for the bases. Likewise, back at home, MaxPax building up. Getting a 2nd Colossus. Again, just really early Colossus production. There's not really much support here. Specifically, MaxPax, he's skipping Warpins in favor of earlier Colossus. He delayed his gateways. And we'll see if he can get away with it, because here comes the push. And usually, again, at least in months past, even weeks past, this move up would be met by mass charge, but charge did finish, +1 did not. Likewise, gateways are late, so the ground army is very lacking here. There are force fields, though. Yeah, there are those force fields. Tanks through siege. Volleys, they don't get the sentry. Liberator popping off. And does he commit? Third Colossus on the way. Oof. Yeah, brutal volley here on the Stalker. And MaxPax, he should be okay here. With these 2 sentries, he can just force field. He can force field. He should be safe and sound. Third CC on the way for Clem. And MaxPax, he's slipping out, or slipping away with a Dark Shrine. Let's go. Dark Shrine is on the way. Getting into those DTs. I mean, if you recall, we saw him wreak havoc against Bjorn earlier today with those Dark Templar. MaxPax, he does hold, he does survive. Getting ready for his own Zealot run by. And we'll find a couple of SCVs. Does get a couple of workers. Clem backs off. He backed off for a moment. So he does need that expansion. Splits off his army. And we'll see if MaxPax does spot that drop. He does have an observer in position. He may see this. It's going to be close. Barely does not. Yeah, the observer does not cover the edge of the map. And drop does get past. So I'll take the mineral line. But here in the main base, there's nothing to defend. There is a recall and warp-ins as well. So MaxPax, he can react. Scan at the 4th. Clem just trying to keep up with those Zealot run-bys. And ideally, you do want to wait for something to distract MaxPax, or vice versa, before you go in with the drop. So Clem, he's holding onto the drop for now. Meanwhile, DT's into the main base of Clem. Do waddle in. Yeah, DT in the main, the third base, and soon the natural as well. Do we have any scans? Not quite. There's a turret, at the same time drops into the main. There's a recall. Yeah, recall will defend. Oh, full medevac's gonna go down. Brutal pickoff. Getting both. Oh my god. 2 full medevacs. DT still wreaking havoc, still no scans. 6, well, not many SCV kills actually. Not many, 3 SCVs. I say 3, getting up to 5, getting up to 7. Oof. Decent damage there from MaxPax, but nothing game ending. Nothing yet. Those drops are being cleaned up. DT popping off, getting up to 10 SCV. Oh my god, there's no scan. There's no scan. 11 SCV kills. It's like, Clem, you're muling too well. Ay, ay, ay. The muling is too good. MaxPax takes a massive lead. Again, those Dark Templar did so well here, just distracting and harassing Clem. And now MaxPax coming in. Can he break through? Let's go to 3 Colossus. Not too many Stalkers though. Too much support here for those Colossus. Yeah, for now just causing a distraction. Keeping Clem's attention here on the front lines. Meanwhile, Zelce busts into the middle line. SV's going to be going down. And Clem is being pulled apart. Does pull back, does defend. MaxPax is not stopping. Prism coming in. More Zealots, more run-bys. For the main. No turrets in position. Once again, MaxPax trying to distract Clem, keeping his attention here on the front lines. Does keep his attention, drop into the main base. And GG gets called. Yeah, Clem, he just cannot defend both locations at once. And MaxPax ties up the series 1-1. Whew, GG. And Clem just torn apart. He just didn't have the supply to defend, to keep up. Not anymore. Not anymore. Again, those DTs doing phenomenally there for MaxPax. Likewise, he was able to defend earlier. Clem was quite dedicated when it came to his first bio push, didn't quite find any damage. And MaxPax played out well. Did play it out very well. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into game number 3. We go. I'm in deep trouble when Pax is up to 5 bases. Just to re-emphasize once again, a lot of it came down to the Zealot Roundbuys and DT counterattacks. Because of this, that's why Clem was stuck at home. He ideally wanted to be active, right? Wanted to be active to threaten the 4th base of MaxPax, to in some way even force warp-ins or force more defensive play to MaxPax, but he was stuck at home, stuck defending. Unfortunately, he had no scans, if you recall. Like, those DTs, it took Clem a very long time to deal with 3 Dark Templar because he had 0 scans, and even though they weren't really killing many SCVs, they were keeping him pinned and also even trading against the army. So really nice DT timing there from MaxPax, and that led into eventually MaxPax snowballing out of control. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we're getting into our next game. We're getting into game number 3, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Persephone, we have our red Terran player from Atlanta, France, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Danish Protoss player representing Sidestorm Gaming. Tying up the series, it is MaxPax. Here we go. Whew. And that last game was actually quite similar to what we saw between MaxPax and Bjorn, also on ley lines actually, where Bjorn also had a very hard time keeping up with the multi-round aggression of MaxPax. Once MaxPax gained map control, it was hard to strip that away. As we once again have a double gas opener out of Clem. Let's go. And welcome one and all to Persephone. Persephone is one of the more popular new maps in the TLMC map pool. We do have a healing pad, which, fun fact, despite casting a lot on this map, I don't think I've ever seen this pad used, by the way. I've never seen it. I've seen Jumi try to use this, but fail to. What I mean by that, the healing pad has some quirks. Specifically, there are some air blockers. There are air blockers on top of the healing pad, so you cannot make use of this with oracles or phoenixes or medevacs or anything like that. Jimmy specifically tried to use this with his oracles in a PvZ, and he couldn't, right? He just could not get on top of the pad. That's the only time I've seen a player try to use it, was Jimmy with oracles. I'm shaking my head. So we'll see if this comes into play. Likewise, we have the gold base on the right hand side. We have speed zones as well to otherwise make the gold base a little bit more difficult to maintain. Rush distance by air is very short on this map. And the attack path by ground is very direct as well. Here we go. It's something that comes into play much later on. We've casted a lot of late game on this map as well without it coming into play. I should emphasize that. Like, we've casted a lot of games on Persephone. So we'll see. Whenever it happens, we'll take note of it. Whenever it happens, we'll take note. For now, Clem, force back. Likewise, with that double gas opener, this time he does not go Reactor Reaper Hellion. Bear that in mind. He made a couple of Reapers. It's 2 Reapers and 1 Hellion just for map control. This time, Clem is not looking for a dive. This time, he's not looking to bust into a mineral line. Instead, we'll take down the initial depths. Ooh, has to get the hell out of here. Trades out a Reaper. Nice pick off by MaxPax. And ideally, he does want the rest. So far, 1 shot away. Ooh, but will not get it. Very, very close fight. Clem does come out on top. Takes down the Adept. Behind this is going to a 1-1-1. Ooh, a bit of a supply block will slow him down, but he's going for a Widowmine drop. A slightly delayed Widowmine drop. So he's opening up with his drop. Back at home, MaxPax opening up Blink. 2 more gates on the way. Oh. Who is it? God, every time you hold your breath because you don't want to be it. Shout out to Brato, great guy. Hopefully he's okay. Is of course casting on his own channel. And hopefully everything's okay, and hopefully Brato is able to join us for game number 4 without too much issue. And resolve any latency issues as well. Smurge. But we've been there before. We've been there before. If you remember, it was last week. It was last week where we just DC'd from BattleNet. It wasn't even like a latency issue or a connection issue. It was just BattleNet dying on us. Aye. Feels BattleNet, man. So hopefully everything's okay with Bratok as we do come back in. My drop is setting up. And MaxPax, he is so far going for extra gateways. So if you remember earlier I was saying 3-gate blink, it's 4-gate. So 4-gate blink out of MaxPax, hyper aggression out of our Danish Protoss player. He's throwing on extra gateways, is going to commit. And it's going to be on Clem to realize what's going on, to realize what's happening. It's been a while since we've seen 4-gate blink Stalker. We'll say that. Does boost in, sees 3 gates here in the main. Does go for the drop. Shouldn't get much damage here. Nice retargeting, gets a Stalker, nicely done. Likewise, Reaper towards the natural, sees the 4th gateway, he knows. He sees all 4 gates, he's aware of the build. He does count the gateways. I mean, this is the main purpose here of a mine drop. Nice, some mine time gets 3 probes, and back at home we need bunkers. we need a wall up, we need a wall off, bunkers, tanks. Getting ready for MaxPax as he is pushing, and he's committing. Now, as a reminder, this is not an all-in. MaxPax is taking a third behind this, or at least he should, but we can warp in 4 Stalkers at a time. That's a lot of Stalkers. Goes into the main, tank is exposed, and the tank is going to go down. Nice body blocking here, no repair. No repair from Clem. Wasn't quite in position. Raven under fire. Taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage. Meanwhile, MaxPax does get into the middle line. Meanwhile, across the map, Mind Drop comes back in. MaxPax, he defends. Shuts down the Mind Drop. Mind Drop does fall. MaxPax, he does pull away. For the time being, I mean, it's been solid damage. We can see the 1 tank here for Clem does reposition towards the low ground. There's 1 tank here further back into the main. The add-ons are exposed. MaxPax, he rotates, but there is that tank in position. He will get the bunker, though. That bunker goes down. Clem, he is at least holding on. Here comes another warp in. And every time, just 4 Stalkers at a time. MaxPax thinking about the dive. Raven taking a lot of hits once again. Will lose a Stalker. Bit of miscontrol. 1 Stalker goes down. And Clem holds. Clem is holding on. Is holding on. Tank in the main. Stim is almost done. And Clem should be able to persevere from here. Should be able to break out to get a 3rd base. Clem, he has weathered the storm. MaxPax already transitioning, getting his 3rd base up and running, working towards charge. Gateway explosion. Into charge and +1. If you recall, this is the style that I was referring to on ley lines earlier. How we've seen this more commonly going into a very heavy gateway composition into +1 in charge. Before Colossus, before splash damage. We'll get there eventually, but again, this will keep MaxPax safe against an early move out, assuming that Clem were to push. So Clem is going for his own 3rd CC. Clem is going to expand. So it does break out. Does break out, picks up a couple of Stalkers. And again, this is why charge such a common follow-up. Clem is pushing, and charge is going to be done in time. MaxPax warping in those zealots, getting ready. Assuming that Clem commits. Yeah, he's going. MaxPax runs into the tank, has to back up. Warping in more zealots. Clem, he maintains his position. I'm sure he's hoping that maybe MaxPax wanders into him instead, into the pre-siege tanks. And Clem backs off. Clem, he backs off, he doesn't commit. Yeah, wise move here by Clem. He's gonna just back off, calm down, get his third base, and defend. And suddenly this charge follow-up here from MaxPax isn't as effective. Meanwhile, the armies, they pass by each other. MaxPax is going straight in between the bases. Does go in between. Clem, ooh. Does he turn around? He commits. Going for the third. Force fields, they will delay. Nice force fields. Oh! Mine shot's going up, catching out the Immortal. Immortal goes down, and the base is going to fall. Yeah, we're going for the base trade. MaxPax going for the third. Clem going for the fourth. Nice dodge. Nice dodge here in the mine. 11 SCVs go down. MaxPax does evacuate. Can the orbital escape? Oh no! Oh! What about volley? Doesn't get it. There's the recall. And Clem, he might just have too much. As it's a massive amount of marauders. MaxPax, he does have a Colossus. Just the one Colossus. And there's so many Widow Mines. Their mine shots popping up. Clem, he commits in. Alas, the tanks are exposed. The tanks are going to be going down. What about the Bio, though? He's going for the Nexus. Going for the expansion, and he should get it. And just barely. Nexus goes down. Colossus as well. And this is game-ending damage. Clem, he kills 2 bases. 2 Nexi. GG gets called. It's just too much. And Clem will take a lead in the series 2-1. Whew. GG. Clem does take a lead. Again, both armies, they did pass by each other. Again, that is something to take into consideration here on Persephone, is that left-hand attack path. It's a little bit more difficult to actually get an eye on as it goes straight towards that triangular third base. MaxPax did miss the move outs, and we got into kind of like a weird base trade. MaxPax, he did get a mineral line, but Clem, he had just had so much bio, so many marines, so many marauders. GG. GG, well played. Clem did overwhelm. And Clem is now 1 game away from becoming our champion. Oh. 1 more game is all he needs. Yes, we are getting into Amygdala. Amygdala as our next game. One of the larger maps in the map pool, larger than Persephone. As a result, we do often see longer game states. And it's on these larger maps where I'm sure MaxPax is going to be a little bit more comfortable here. It's going to be on Clem to, again, some way making him uncomfortable, some way apply pressure, get damage done. We'll see. The pressure is going to be on Clem here. I mean, in a way. As he has been quite aggressive so far this series. Haven't seen Bratok in ages. Bratok, he streams a lot. Bratok, he's playing a lot of StarCraft Evolution. If you're familiar with StarCraft Evolution, then Bratok has been very active in that. Casting, playing, competing. I know that he often plays in 2v2 tournaments as well with MinoVK. Bratok, great guy. Great guy. And he's also been hosting his own tournaments. In a way, I would say that Bratok, he's transitioned from mainly being a player into more of a content creator, like streamer and caster. He still competes, don't get me wrong, but that's not like his main focal point anymore. But here we go, we're getting into our next game, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have our Danish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Sidestorm Gaming. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back and tie things up. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the French Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. 1 game away from claiming the series. Let's go. And again, welcome 1-0 to Amygdala. Amygdala is one of the larger maps in the map pool, but something that's more impactful than just the size of the map is the limited attack paths. We spoke about this in the previous series between Clem and Solar, how Hellion-based openers can really struggle to get damage done here on Amygdala, which is why Clem went for a 2-on-1 and he committed to an all-in. The reasoning for this, again, is because it's difficult to get surrounds, difficult to counterattack, because we have one attack path on the left and one towards the south side as well. So 2 main attack paths, at least in the early to mid game. When the game progresses into a longer game state, into the late game, then you can knock down these rocks and open up the map. But until then, you're quite limited. And on top of that, both Xel'Nagas also scout the attack paths. The southern Xel'Naga, the northern one as well. They see everything. So if we kind of look at the previous game and apply it to Amygdala, it will be difficult for either player to pass by each other without being seen. In the last game, we had a kind of crazy base trade where MaxPax and Clem, they missed each other. That would be much more difficult to pull off here. Meanwhile, single gas. For the first time this series, economic opener. Racks into CC on the low ground. This also plays into the size of the map. We do expect more economic builds instead. Again, the maps do often kind of dictate play styles and dictate builds. Oh, as he checks, he scouts, and he does confirm the pylon. Ay, rough start here for MaxPax. Probe gets chased down, does survive, pylon gets cancelled, and MaxPax does have a rough start. Looks like, yeah, he was going Zealot first. He went Zealot first. He was planning to go for a proxy across the map to try to punish the economic build. The goal here would have been to force a cancel, or I should say, to force a delay, and maybe even a cancel in the CC. Without the reinforcing pylon, not anymore. Not anymore. Bunker is done. Zeld has no reinforcements. Clem holds. So, from the side of MaxPax, it isn't just that the pylon got cancelled, it's that the entire point here of this opener, of the Zealot even, was to punish. Does get into the mineral line. He does deny some mining time. He gets a marine. Not bad. Gets a marine. At least he's getting some value here, but he wanted more. He did want more. Behind this, going Twilight Council into Robo. Into Blink, most likely. And so far, I would say, again, doing a good job here at taking control of the natural. Second Adept has arrived. As the first one is going to be going down. Yeah, first one does fall, and CranKy holds. He does hold on. We'll clean this up. And I was curious because I did not see any research on the Twilight Council. We see why. DT opener. Okay, bold move. It's going to be a Dark Shrine. Now, when it comes to DT openers and DT play here in this matchup, it is very, very hit and miss. Basically, we're hoping that Clem doesn't bank any energy. If he mules at the wrong moment, then he'll just die. He will just die. He will just tap out. If he mules at the wrong moment, if DTs hit at just the right moment as a mule occurs, then the game can just end. And we've seen that before. We've seen that before in this matchup. I think specifically, I'll always remember, it was on Oceanborn. Oceanborn, Geralt versus Bjorn. Geralt, he waddled in with 2 DTs. Bjorn muled. GG. That was just insta GG. Meanwhile, Hellions, they busted. They scout. More importantly, they scout. They get damage done. And Clem, he knows. Clem, he's fully aware. That's what's even more important. I mean, this is still good damage. 8 probe kills is still insane. As he does threaten the mineral line, he will be cleaned up. But he saw the Dark Shrine. Clem, he sees, he knows. Back across the map, he's banking energy. Dark Templar has arrived. But he has a Raven. Yeah, he has the Raven. He has energy. He's fine. And this is just a really rough start for MaxPax. He's going to charge as a follow-up. This is very committed. We have Forge. We have the Bay. Oh. MaxPax. He delays his production to afford an extra warp in, going for an Archon drop. It's just now a really shaky game here for MaxPax. As a Prism is going to go down. Oh, nice. It's very too soon. Prism does survive. But MaxPax has to pull away. It's just already low HP. Stalkers to reinforce. MaxPax taking his expansion. This is a third base after his gases and after his tech. After the Robo and Forge and Bay. I mean, it's the risk you take when you open Dark Shrine, right? Like it's it's risky for a reason. Doesn't always work. Clem, he moves out. Moves out with his drop. Max has headed for the main. I mean, bold move. He has to be careful though. There is a Viking. Pokes in. He can tank some shots. He goes to the mineral line, but does not quite make it. And Clem is all over him. Is going for the pylon. Doesn't quite get it. Building up towards stim, +1, combat shields. Clem just amassing his army, and here comes the push. MaxPax will lose control of the Zonaga. Probe gets hunted down. He doesn't see the move out. He's not fully aware how committed this is. Is getting ready though. MaxPax has got a Colossus, has got 2 Archons. Again, there's not really much to support this army. And Clem can just sim in. Yeah, he can and he will. Nice force fields. They do slow him down. MaxPax trying to hold on. Clem picking up, going for a Doom drop. He backs off. He sees the Colossus. He knows he cannot break this location. Dropping into the main instead. Blink is not done, but he sees the Stalkers and he backs off. MaxPax holds. Whew, MaxPax, he does hold on. It was risky for him to, again, tech as hard as he did. But so far, has gotten away with it. He does hold behind this. Clem takes his own third base. Getting into a longer game state. And going for a split push. MaxPax does spot this. He does see the rotation. MaxPax is aware. The problem is that MaxPax doesn't really have a large army. It's actually quite similar to ley lines, but the roles are reversed. Where Clem had a shaky early to mid game and didn't really have the supply to work with. Pulling away. MaxPax trying to split up. So far doing well enough. He's holding. Taking his base. From here, Clem, he can afford to be greedy. Like, Clem has been left alone for quite some time. Chandler Wardlingen. But Clem, yeah, take his gases, tech up. We have the Ghost Academy on the way, 4th CC. That's what I was waiting for, 4th Command Center. As ideally, the Protoss player wants to be up in expansion, but that's not quite happening here. It shows how ahead Clem is. Now, of course, MaxPax can still stabilize, whether it comes to harassment, zealot run-bys, DT counterattacks, or even taking up into either Disruptors or Storm. MaxPax will have potential to take a better fight, but he's still building up. There it is, Disruptors on the way. Just the one robot for the time being. But you can beat down 20, 30 army supply, but with those Disruptors, with those Novas, you can recover, you can bounce back. Can do so. As Clem moves out, Prism moves in. Turret not quite done in time. Prism does slip by. Lasso reinforcements. Production is out. Nice EMP. And the Prism falls. Massive pickoff. Now he can commit. Nothing keeping him back. Clem, he can send it. MaxPax, he has 1 Disruptor. Just the one. Has to make it count. Likewise does have the Colossus in position. Max actually defends. Massive EMP. Never goes off. Gets a ghost, gets 2 Widow Mines. Nicely done. But it still might not be enough. Missile Dart goes up. Takes down one of the Colossus. The anti-arm missile here is insane. MaxPax, he has to retreat at the same time. He does defend his natural. He's holding on. Defends the natural, loses another Colossus. One Colossus left. Oh god. Does go down. A nice Nova. And MaxPax, he's barely holding on. Collapse on the tanks. Tanks are going to fall. And MaxPax does hold. And the Novas are pretty solid. MaxPax, he defends, gets another expansion, and MaxPax, he's on the road to recovery here. Massing up even more disruptors. Clem, he was a little bit wasteful. Again, he lost a lot of ghosts there. There's 4 ghosts going down. He's got 3 left. Once again, going for a split push. I'll split off. Likewise, MaxPax, he's in position. He's ready for the push. He has his Colossus. He has Scan, just reveal it. Clem, he cannot push in. Oh! Getting another Ghost once again. Like, every time, Ghost is just going down. It's MaxPax, he's holding. He's maxing out. Doesn't have the most ideal army, but it's maxed nonetheless. Oh. So he almost gets another Ghost. Almost. Clem trying to expand. Colossus finally going to be going down. Clem, he pushes in. Oh, he gets punished though. Clem gets punished towards the south, but he does take down the Colossus, and now this space is suddenly exposed. All the disruptors are not here towards the top side. Yeah, just Gateway Army. Just Zealots and Stalkers. MaxPax moving in, going for the counterattack. Never goes off. Oh, once again, brutal connection. Clem takes all the Novas to the face. He takes them to the face, zoned away. And MaxPax is going for the kill. He's going for the production. Pushing into the main. Once again, Novas, nice splits. Very nice splits. Avoids most of the Novas. Zealot's trying to break through. There's that recall. Disruptor's going to be going down. Massive pickoffs as Clem, he breaks the expansion. Takes down the 5th. Clem, he defends back at home. Will lose a couple of SCVs, but he holds. Clem does hold. Meanwhile, across the map, oh, force back. Force to pick up. And MaxPax is down to how many? Down to 4 disruptors. Down to 4 disruptors. You can see the MaxPax's supply plummets. Both armies were maxed, that is true, but MaxPax doesn't have a bank. He could not afford that loss. So suddenly down to 120 supply. He needs more time. He needs time. Meanwhile, Clem, he commits. Keeps pushing. Show us the Novas. True. Show us those Novas. It's now just buying time, trying to zone away. There's 1 Nova left. Takes down a couple of Marines. MaxPax barely holding on at the same time, though the 5th base gets denied. Just cannot expand, cannot get a 5th. And Clem is remaxed. It's remaxed once again. Just never allowing that expansion. This main army here from MaxPax is looking quite threatening, though. Clem, he has to respect it, has to back up. At the same time, moving in. Up! Oh my god. Clem, he just... It's either the Storm or the Disruptor. Like, both. Like, Clem, he just takes them all. Oh my god. I mean, he typically wins even despite that. He'll take every Novas in the face, but he'll still overwhelm. GG gets called as MaxPax is starved out. He's pulled apart, and Clem will take the series 3-1, becoming this week's champion. GG. GG, well played. Again, MaxPax just could not expand. He was torn apart. It can be very awkward, especially when you're behind and when you don't have map control to defend at both locations at once. I'm referring to the northern bases and the southern bases. They're just so spread out and they're so isolated from each other, and MaxPax just couldn't defend. Just could not defend, could not hold on. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations. Clem, he will... Oh, sorry. There we go. Clem, he will take the series. He will be our champion this week. Very well played. Very well done. Again, Clem, he is the current best player in the world, or the reigning world champion. And whenever he does rock up here, he's favored. Is favored to take it. Shout out to MaxPax. He did make Clem bleed. So did Solar. Both players had their moments, had their time. But Clem does come out on top. GG. GG, well played, is going to be our champion. And if you want some more Clem action, MaxPax, Solar, Hero as well, our top 4 players, they will be reprising their roles in a couple of hours in the Monday Night Weekly. Oh boy. So do check it out. Monday Night Weekly is going to be beginning in 26 minutes, so in half an hour. That is the European Weekly. The European Weekly, and all these top players, they usually pull an all-nighter, and they play in all 3 events. The Korean, European, and NA tournament. Oh, so the night is still young. Night is still young. If you are unsatiated, if you want some more StarCraft, if you want some more MaxPax, Clem, Hero, Solar, all these guys, then do tune in to some of the other casters. We do not cover it. We don't cover the European Weekly. Wardi doesn't cover the European Weekly either. I believe it's typically Rotterdam, Zombie Grub, and Steadfast. Those are the 3 that come to mind. Every now and then, maybe you can get like a Chicken Man or like a Dave Testa or one of the other English casters. But those are the typically 3 regulars. 3 regulars that do cover the EU Weekly. So do make sure you tune into that. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Again, congratulations to Clem for being our champion this week. And I'm sure we'll be seeing more of Clem either in the Monday Night Weekly or in the Pigasaur Monday as well. If the night is young, does it make it a squire? Oh no. Oh no. Not like this. I don't think so. Maybe? I don't know how old you have to be a knight, to be a squire. Just catching up. SL8 Chrononaut. But yeah, GG, well played. I do apologize for being a little bit low energy. I'm very fatigued over the weekend. We did so much casting over the weekend, and I'm still a little bit tired. So I'm going to be getting some rest, going to be going to sleep, and we'll be back for the Pigasaur Monday. That is going to be in a couple of hours. Quickly switching our scenes over. Let's find out. Let us find out. As our next event here is that Pigasaur Monday. We also have the HSL, the Hispanic Star League, also tomorrow evening. So we have 2 casts tomorrow, 2 broadcasts, Pigasaur Monday and HSL. Likewise, we have Code for Giants Cup on Wednesday, the Rex March Madness, the playoffs, I should say, also on Wednesday. Tenacious Door Tussle, the Pondcast, more HSL, and more StarCraft throughout the week. Plenty of content, plenty of casting is on the horizon, plenty here on the CranKy Ducklings. Again, we are live on a daily basis, multiple times a day, every single day. Again, I do apologize for being a little bit low energy, but I will rest up as much as I can and be ready for the Pigasaur Monday. Let's go. That's going to be in how many hours time? That's going to be in 7.5 hours. So in 7.5 hours, we're going to be back with some more StarCraft action. Let's go. Let's go. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We are going to be heading off for the time being. Again, in half an hour, the other channels are going to be live, specifically Rotterdam, Steadfast, and most likely Zombie Grub. They're going to be covering the Monday Night Weekly, the European Weekly. So they got you covered. They got you covered there. I'm going to be in bed. I'm going to go to sleep. Let's go. Let's go. Otherwise, if you want to tune into more of the CranKy Ducklings action, you can follow us on all the social medias. Check out our YouTube. If you want some StarCraft, if you can't watch it live, then YouTube is the place to be, because we upload on YouTube on a daily basis. Plenty of content on YouTube. Plenty of StarCraft is there. So check out the channel. Otherwise, thank you so much for all our patrons. We actually got a new patron earlier yesterday, I believe during the Figro Cup broadcast. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for all our patrons. Thank you so much for all the support. We do appreciate it. Our Patreon, all the money that we make on Patreon goes towards our tournaments. It all goes towards events like Sparkling Tuna Cup, SDO, and MSO as well. It all goes towards our tournaments. It all goes towards the players as well. So you can support us there if you wish. You can help support the community via Patreon. Thank you. Thank you so much to all our patrons. Otherwise, we're going to be heading off. Going to be heading off here for the night. And do stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Who is live? Who is live at the moment? Who can we raid? Who can we send everyone over to? Let's see. Who do we have? Up a tree. Oh, we have Sal. Sal is live. Who else? Who else is live at the moment? See your smile? Este smile. Smile is live. Luis. Poison. Who else? If one of the other English casters were live, we'd typically raid, but I don't see Wardi online at the moment. Or Steadfast. Okay, we'll find someone. Find someone to raid. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We'll see you guys next time. See you next time. Hard to find someone to raid these. We always find someone. We always find someone. We'll give it the smile. He's a great guy. Great guy. We always raid someone at the end of the stream. So with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. See you next time.